we are giving away a professor's research. All you have to do to enter is like, comment, and subscribe, and we will be picking a winner on Saturday. We'll see you then. What do you call it? 13-1 with the Miraidon. So we're definitely gonna see what's up and what's going on with this for sure. So game number 1 is gonna be here of top 4. So top 4, we're starting off with the Gumi. I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna try to lead on with, but you know, they're gonna double check and see the other deck just to make sure everything's good. Again, you know, if you're playing sweet backs, you're gonna want to take advantage of the field and, you know, put everything out there, because you don't want to give your opponent access to copycats as well. So, oh, it does look like Ori's probably going to be the choice here. It is kind of tough. I am not going to lie. It is kind of tough here, but, you know, the Oricorio is going to do a great job on walling out the Suicune and the Chen Pao here. So, the only thing that's scary about the Chen Pao has the ability to knock out any of the Magnemites. So, you know, that's going to be like the true test of this game. Is going to be like the speed. The Giant Cape is here. He was like flexing on it, but like, you know, just having access to the Miraidon at this point of the game is pretty good, because you could pick up a quick knockout on the Suicune for sure. Wait a minute, Copycat is going to give him one of the best value plays right here. Does he have access to the rare candy? Because if he has access to rare candy, you know, he could probably put the energy, start building up for the Baxcalibur to get rid of that Oricorio, so he could have his own game plan. But not yet. Not there yet. To be fair, this deck could probably just wall everything out with Oricorio until it's ready. Like, oh no. 10% battery in top 4. You gotta find that charger, because you definitely do not want to lose to the timer. I mean, to the low battery. Okay, so having access to the Baxcalibur here is huge, because now it just puts, you know, Garchomp in a very tough position. Puts him in a position where he's going to have to, you know, find his Magnetons as fast as possible so he could start, you know, progressing his game state. But, you know, in this situation, you don't even have to give the energy to Suicune. You could just keep stacking the Baxcalibur for sure to, you know, put it out on the field to swing with it later on. Which is what we're probably going to end up seeing in the following turn. Okay, Magneton getting the energy. It does look like I just don't see the play with the Miraidon. Miraidon is not going to be able to knock out this Suicune, but at the same time, if you put like Gumi, it's just not relevant right now. It's just going to give your opponent a free turn. So the only realistic play is putting damage on this Suicune, you know, getting 70 damage off this thing, so you could potentially maybe Cyrus for game or something. That's maybe the best play you have right now on the field. But definitely going to have to get rid of this bird. Dealing 90 damage into Oricorio is pretty strong here. So that's what we're definitely going to see for sure. Not to mention the Giant's Cape is gonna be putting in a lot of work here. See, now one problem I do see is the Magneton, right? If you go into Magnet Zone, like all he has to do is retreat, and then he could start swinging with everything else. Like he literally retreats the Baxcalibur, and then he could just what do you call it? Charge up Chen Pao, and then use the Ice Maker on the Suicune to swing for enough damage here. Okay, so Baxcalibur is here. It has the mirror shot effect, which is kind of unfortunate for it, but fortunately, this Suicune is going to be able to come in here, do heavy damage, but at the same time, Chen Pao is getting ready, so it could deal 130 anywhere on the board, which is kind of crazy. They do have access to the Cyrus, which, they could definitely pick up a easy knockout on the Suicune, depending on what they do on the following turn is going to determine if they win or not. Starting Plains and Pokemon Center Lady is huge because it's not going to be enough to knock out the Suicune, and that's actually what you were aiming for. But he's going to go in for the Cyrus for sure because we're going to pick up a free knockout on the Baxcalibur, but at the same time, Suicune isn't putting that much damage to knock out the Magnezone, so, they're pretty much chilling at this point, I'm not going to lie. So the fact that they lost access to their Baxcalibur is kind of huge here. Now, they're kind of forced to come in with the Suicune at this point. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. 140 on the Suicune, and that's going to wrap it up. And going to head into game number 2. This is top 4. Miraidon, started off a little shaky, but ended up coming in and, just popping off, and it's insane. All right, so we got a Magnemite lead into the Fridgebacks. Fridgebacks is not like the ideal start, but at least you have them out on the field. You do have access to the, boats at least to like retreat into something. So you could start, well, retreat to your Suicunes, of course, because that's what you want to start, doing is drawing all of your cards. And that's literally the most optimal thing that you could do right now. So it's just insane. Damn. Just hovering on which Magnemite to give this thing to. I mean, the Giant Cape is kind of crazy, but at the same time, you are dropping everything here. This could be helpful for the Suicune whenever it does come out. Yeah, nah, it's kind of insane. Alright, so Professor's Research is going to come into play, and that hand is looking a little fat. I am not going to lie. So, gonna drop everything right now. That Professor's Research, definitely get him what he needs, and basically going for the same play, right? You want to get the card advantage as fast as possible. You want to get that Fridgebacks online as quick so you could get your gameplay here. Honestly, the most ideal play that he could pray for at this moment is to get the Fridgebacks into, give the energy to Suicune, give a manual energy to Chen Pao, so they could, start hitting for heavy numbers. And there's a double Magneton here. No! This guy's phone died. No. No way. Okay, they came back. They came back. That was kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie. This guy's at 10%. I don't know how he's doing it without a charger. I don't know. Something's just telling me game number 2 is gonna go to this guy. Oh, the fact that the Turo is out here. Turo actually might save the game for him. This might pick up the knockout, right? No, or is it 120? Yeah, this is gonna do 120, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. This is gonna pick up the knockout. I was correct on the 120, but, it is what it is. Damn. It looks like Miraidon just is sweeping, sweep backs for sure. Chen Pao definitely wasn't out here doing its thing. Yeah, no, like literally anything that sure the starting planes is here, but the simple fact the 130 is not going to be enough. Oh, wait. They actually ended up plugging into the charger, so they're alive. See, the 140 here is going to be crazy because now you have the opportunity to charge with Magneton and swing with, what do you call it? Magnezone. Even if they end up retreating this Chen Pao to do max value with Suicune or anything that they want to do, it's just you're not in this ideal situation because you already gave up 2 points. And this is where it's just gonna be unfortunate. At least he went down with a fight, picking up a knockout. But it does look like Miraidon is going to be in the grand finals, which is kind of insane.